Yo Show. Celebrities, pop culture, and comedy.
Welcome to the Michael Yo Show. She's an amazing trainer. She's an amazing CEO. It's the place where I go lift weights, get buff and stuff. Dylan from Lift Society. How are you?
Hey, Michael. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, great. So the holidays are coming up. So
Yep.
I wanted to get you in for a quick show today just to answer some questions that's out there. A lot of people have been emailing me questions at michaelyoshow@gmail.com. And I want to get people ready for the holidays.
Yeah.
First of all, if there's one exercise somebody can do, not going to the gym, that can keep them pretty much in shape, what would that exercise be? If I only could do one exercise, what would it be? Because I've heard it's the burpee.
Yeah.
I've heard it's...
So burpee's an easy answer just because it gets your heart rate up so much. I would actually pick two. Can I pick two?
Okay, yeah, pick two.
Lunges are a great at-home exercise because you don't need necessarily any weights. You can just do a ton of lunges, and you can pretty much do them in one spot. You don't have to like move around the house or go outside or have a gym membership. So lunges are a really great exercise, and they tax your legs like crazy. And push-ups. I would do lunges and push-ups.
You wouldn't do the burpees then? You would rather do lunges and push-ups?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there a reason behind that?
Well, okay. So for instance, how many burpees can you do in a row?
Oh, me probably like 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just...
I forgot who I was talking to.
I'm
here for a second.
superhuman, though. You must have forgot, Dylan. Come on now. You've seen me in class.
So I find that burpees are so daunting for most people. You say the word burpee and people are just like, oh, I hate burpees. So it's like, is someone really going to do that at home? I don't know. If they do, are you really going to do more than 20? Probably not, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like lunges, you can break up into like sets of 10. You can do them for like 3 minutes straight. You can do them holding weights. I have like mom friends that do it with their baby strapped on and like do it like that. So it's like the lunges are very versatile. And then also too, they tax like quads, glutes, and hamstrings, also get your heart rate up. Also, they're going to get you a little sore, which is going to raise your metabolism as well. So
Do you burn more calories working out legs than upper body?
for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm getting lean. Because I've been going to Lift Society. I've never worked out my legs. Like literally, I got chicken legs and I'm proud of it. But I've been losing, my wife is like, you're losing like so much weight in your middle area.
Losing fat.
I'm losing fat because I've never worked out my legs.
Yep.
And it's crazy how weight's falling off and I'm getting lean.
Those are your big calorie burners. So all your biggest muscle groups are on your lower body, quads, glutes, hamstrings. So the more muscle you have on your lower body, the faster your metabolism is going to be.
Okay. So yours is lunges and push-ups.
And push-ups.
Okay. Why push-ups?
Push-ups is a great upper body exercise. It gets your core also, shoulders, chest, triceps. It doesn't get obviously a lot of back extension, but it does work your lats as well. So it's it's kind of a total body exercise because your whole body's working at the same time.
Okay, now here's a question I got in off of michaelyoshow@gmail.com. Should kids lift weights, and if they can, what age should they start?
Yeah, so they actually used to think that kids should not lift weights at all, just keep it calisthenic. But then, I think now people are starting to realize you can get kids to lift some weights.
So,
we've had
go ahead.
like 12, 13, 14.
And you don't think that's too young?
So actually, right when you hit puberty is right when all of your hormone production starts happening. And this is crazy. This was like, I don't remember the full study, but basically kids who lifted weights during puberty, their hormone production was like astronomically higher than kids that didn't lift weights during puberty. So your growth hormone, your testosterone, all of these things that are fat burning hormones and muscle building hormones, if you introduce weightlifting at the time that your body is just starting to produce them, you kind of push yourself into like a lifelong of fitness.
So, you hear rumors, and I don't know if this is true, but you do gymnastics, it'll stunt your growth.
Yeah.
If you lift weights too early, like 12, 13, it won't there's no proof that it'll stunt your growth or anything like that.
No, in fact, it'll increase hormone production.
Okay.
I think the thing with gymnastics is so our kids do gymnastics, especially when you're doing competitive gymnastics, they spend hours, 10, 12, 15 hours a week training. And I think kids just can't eat enough calories to keep up with the amount of calories that they're burning so that's why their growth is stunted.
Okay. Is nutrition, this is one I got, is nutrition more important than working out?
Yes.
It is 100%.
Yes.
So you could be lean just by eating right and never working out.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So that's more okay.
You can be like that skinny fat.
That skinny fat. I call people, I have friends that are super skinny but have a belly, little belly, and I call them skinny Buddhists because they're so thin, but then they look like a Buddha in the belly.
Yep.
Skinny fat. Okay.
Yep.
Is being overweight and lifting, is that safe? Like, say I'm kind of obese.
Yep.
But I lift weights too. Is that safe? Or should I
Yeah.
be doing a different type of work, like more cardio than working out? Like weights?
So lifting weights, for a lot of people, you're standing in one spot, right? You're not jumping around, you're not running, you're not jogging. There's not an uneven surface that you have to watch out for, like rolling your ankle and things like that. I think for people who are really overweight, just simply walking is amazing. There's been tons of science on just the benefits of walking just for your health. But then in terms of lifting weights, yeah, you don't really have to like move that much. You're doing bench press, you're lying down, you're doing squats, you can modify by squatting to a bench. Deadlifts, you can start off really light and kind of work through that. So yeah, I think it's actually a really safe way.
Live inside the studio, we have Dylan from Lift Society, CEO. That's the place I work out. So we're going through all your questions. You sent me questions. We're going through them all on my email, michaelyoshow@gmail.com. Also off my Instagram @michaelyo. How often does a person need to change their routine? Like if you're working out, do you need to change it all the time? Or because some people go to the gym, do the same thing.
Right.
Should you be changing it weekly, daily, monthly?
Yeah. This is a complicated question.
Yeah, that's why I bring it.
Yeah.
Our listeners are complicated people.
It's great. So you need consistency in certain things, and you also need variety in certain things, right? So let's say you do 4 sets of 10 reps. Let's just use back squats just because it's a very easy exercise for everyone to understand. So you do 4 sets of 10 back squats 3 times a week for the past year. The changes you see in your body are going to be really slow because you're probably lifting about the same weight and you're not really putting your body under different tension points, right? So there's a few different ways when it comes to like challenging yourself. The first way is like obviously increasing the weight, right? The second is playing around with your reps. So the lower reps you do, the more weight you can lift. So if you only have to do 3 reps, you can lift a lot more weight than if you have to lift 12 reps, right? So that's going to change the amount of tension on your body. And then there's also something called time under tension, which is like we call it like tempo work, right? Where it's like you can't just squat up and down. Now you're going to take 3 seconds to lower down. Maybe there's a pause at the bottom and then coming up. So there's all these different ways that you can tax your nervous system and your muscular system, but it really depends on what your goals are. So it's like, yeah, doing the same workout every day, that's not going to be as beneficial because your body's constantly reacting and trying to create a state of like normalcy. So you constantly have to change it. But does that mean you have to do Pilates on one day and spin on another day and lifting on another day? Well, that's just being inconsistent. That's not right.
You're not being consistent.
Right.
By you doing a bunch of different things, you're maybe consistent in working out, but you're not being consistent in your workout.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally,
Okay.
totally. So if you do the back squats, like you said, just change it up.
Right. Exactly.
And you can do the same thing, but just change it up a little bit to shock you, because the whole purpose is to shock your system.
Exactly.
So your system's like, whoa, what's this? Let
Yep.
me try to figure this out.
Breaking the muscles down.
Okay.
Which creates that process of the afterburn effect and ultimately burns more calories. But I think people have to ask themselves, like, okay, why am I working out? Am I working out just because I want to feel good and be healthy? It's like, okay, cool. It doesn't really matter what your workouts are because you just want to sweat for an hour a day. Okay, fine. Sweat for an hour a day, do whatever you want. But it's people who have very specific aesthetic goals, they do need to think about those other things.
Okay, so Nancy from Austin, Texas sent in a question. She goes, I hit my goal. Now what?
Oh.
So her question is, like, once you get to the weight you want to be, how do you sustain it, and what do you do? Is it easier to keep it? I guess what she's trying to say, is it easier to, once you maintain, then get down? And once you do get down, what next? Like, you know, because some people hit their goal and then they'll blow back up.
Right.
You know, so like, what's that? What do normal people do once they hit their goal?
I feel like this is like a life question.
Yeah. She's like, I hit my goal, now what? Nancy in Austin, Texas, I'm so proud you hit your goal weight. But I guess maybe the question is more of how to sustain it then.
Right. So it's definitely easier to maintain where you are than it is to make changes,
now,
right?
does she have to work as hard to maintain it as she did to get there?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Our body's always searching for a way to maintain homeostasis. So the longer you stay at a certain weight, the easier it is to stay there, right? And that goes both directions. So yeah. So I mean, I think people should always be setting goals for themselves in the gym, in their life, and everything. So just because you hit some, like, let's say you hit like, oh, I have my dream job. It's like, I'm gonna stop working now. It's like, wait, no, this is the time you actually can keep really pushing it now. Like, what's the next step? So
gotcha.
I think it's the same in working out.
Kevin in Tucson wants to know, is it better to work out with friends or alone? Because a lot of people will go to the gym with their friends,
right?
You know, and maybe you get stuff done. Or should you go alone and really focus in on yourself? what do you suggest?
Yeah. I mean, I think if your friend is pushing you, for sure. Like, if you guys have a good relationship and you're not like overly competitive and you can push each other and have fun and hang out and it can be like a healthy hangout time, I think that's totally awesome. But then also times there's where you just want to go in and crush it on your own. So it's like, I think it kind of depends on the situation.
It depends on your friend, really.
Yeah, I think it depends on your friend. And also, personally, I love taking classes. I find I get so much more done when someone's just keeping me on track. I'm not checking my phone. I'm not talking too much, you know. Actually, I'm the person that gets in trouble for talking in class. People are always like, Dylan, shh.
Oh, so you talk a lot in your own class?
I have been called out on it a couple times.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I think lifting and working out with friends is awesome. And it just depends on the situation, what you're trying to accomplish.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk cheat days. A person emailed cheat days. How many a week can they have? They were like,
How many full days?
Well, because you hear, oh, you can one cheat day.
Right.
Is that true? Or can you have a couple of cheat days a week?
Well, okay. So we actually kind of got into this on the last podcast that we did together when we were talking about flex dieting.
Yeah.
We got a little sidetracked. We didn't fully get into it, but there's something called flex dieting.
Okay. What is flex dieting?
Okay, I'm a huge fan of flex dieting. It basically means you have a certain amount of calories that you can eat based on your metabolism, and based on your goals, a certain number of carbs, fats, and proteins that are allowed within that calorie range. So technically, you don't have to like have a cheat day because you can have your cheats built into every day. It's just not excessive, right?
You just take something out of that day. Like if you eat, I don't know, a piece like a Hershey's bar or whatever people cheat on, you would just take something else out of that calorie count.
Exactly. So let's say for me, I have 1,500 calories to work with every day. Well, let's say by the time it's dinner time, I've only eaten 700 calories. Well, that means I have 700 calories that I could eat for dinner that can pretty much be almost whatever I want. So if I can have a cheeseburger, glass of wine, you know, whatever.
How many calories do you eat a day?
I'm around 1,500.
I can't even imagine eating 50. It sounds like so little.
It's terrible.
Food. Like what do you walk me through your day once again? Like what do you wake up and eat?
Yeah, so I always have the same two things for breakfast and lunch: the protein shake and the non-fat Greek yogurt.
Okay, so let's talk about the protein shake.
Okay.
What brand do you use? What do you use for your protein shake?
So I always go plant-based. I kind of switch it up, my different brands. Like, you know, you kind of get sick of one or the other, but it's always plant-based.
So you're plant-based right now. What are the Vega maybe?
Yeah,
and what's
I'll use Vega. Whole Foods has their own brand, like a 365 brand that's pretty good. Primal Kitchen has a really good one.
Okay.
Orgain.
So you make this shake. What do you put in your shake?
Almond milk.
Just almond milk. That's it. Just the powder and the almond milk.
The powder and the almond milk.
How many
shake
scoops
it
of
up.
powder?
It's two. Well, it depends what the serving size is, but most of them are like
And
2
that
scoops.
fills you up.
I mean, it kind of like subsides me until lunch, but also too, my mornings are the busiest time for me. My like work day goes from like 7 a.m. to like 3 p.m. So that I'm kind of just eating while I'm at work. So I'm not like super hungry when I'm at work. I'm used to
So you eat the protein shake at 7. Let's say 7 you wake up or whenever you wake up.
So, okay.
How do you do
Wake up, cup of coffee.
Yes,
okay.
of course. Of course.
Around 10, I'll have my protein shake.
Got you.
Because I haven't worked out yet, or maybe I
And
just
are you
recently worked out.
intermittent fasting right now too? Kinda?
I don't know. No, not intentionally.
Okay.
You know, it just kind of has become part of my
7
routine.
a.m. coffee,
Yep.
10 a.m. first shake.
Protein shake, yep. And then sometime between 10 and 1, I'll have like my bowl of yogurt, which I always bring to work with me.
And this is just the Greek yogurt.
It's Greek yogurt, honey, and almond butter. So it's got like a little bit more calories with the almond butter and stuff like that. Then I'm pretty much working from home after that the rest of the day. So then it's like I have all those other calories that I can eat, and it's more just like whatever we have.
So is it tough for you to be at home with all the munchies in your house? And then
No, I've been doing this for so long. It's like I don't care about food that much. Like we're having Thanksgiving soon, and people are like, "Oh, what thing?" I'm like, I don't care. Like like last year,
you won't indulge.
I will if I want to, but I don't care about food that much. I don't know. I put a lot of emphasis on being in shape. So to me, it's more important to be in shape than it is to like eat food for a moment, you know.
Now, when you were younger, were you always like in shape? Like
no. So I've actually been like up and down and all over the place with my weight. And then also 2 pregnancies, getting back in shape after that. So I've definitely like gained and lost like 30 to 40 pounds multiple times.
So this, we're going through this right now. We're going to have a baby in a couple of weeks. My wife, second pregnancy, first one, she snapped back like that.
Yep.
Second one, does the snap back usually, I know it depends on the woman, but how much harder was it for you personally the second time, or did it just snap back?
For me, it was so much harder the second time. Yeah. Well, because we had the first kid and like 6 months later, I was back in shape and I was like, woo, that was easy. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
So our kids are only like 18 months apart. So when our daughter was 9 months old, I got pregnant again. And then I think my body just hadn't fully recovered. There's so much going on the inside that you don't even know about. And I found out later it actually takes almost 2 years for your body to fully recover from pregnancy, like all your organs and all, because all that stuff's like just moving around in there.
It's amazing what the woman's body can do. It's crazy.
So yeah, in hindsight, I probably should have waited a little bit longer.
How much longer did it take you the second time around?
Oh my gosh, like over a year.
So 6 months the first time, over a year the second time. And what was like, were there stubborn places on your body, or was it mainly stomach you were just trying to lean?
So for me, I hold most of my weight on my like abs and like legs. Like pear-shaped midsection.
Gotcha.
So that's always my area.
Any advice to women the second time around?
Gosh, during pregnancy or afterwards?
After pregnancy.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously baby is priority number 1, but then also too, like you're sitting around the house in your sweats, you're like haven't showered, like there's a lot going on, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not necessarily the most motivating environment to be like, man, I'm gonna get back in shape. It's like, I'm at home with my kids, we're snacking on food, we're in our jammies. Like, I think making plans as much as possible, even if it's like just getting out of the house and going for a walk, getting dressed, taking showers, all the things that you would normally do that make yourself feel good and motivated, I think you should try to keep doing those as much as possible.
I never understood the taking shower thing, because you hear like people that are married, oh man, we hardly ever take showers, my wife hardly ever. And you're like, dude, that's disgusting. And then when you're married and have a kid, my wife is like, oh, I finally get to take a shower. I was like, how long have you 4 days? I'm like, oh my God. Like it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's just life.
Yep.
These kids run around, you know, and that I am so stressed about the second one, because I know it's going to be a madhouse.
Yeah.
You know, no sleep.
It is.
You know, like no sleep, but you got to keep pushing.
Yeah. My dad warned me. He's like, 2 kids is like having 5 kids. He's like, there's no difference. Like,
I think there's a difference. I think there's a big difference.
But he was like, the difference between 1 and 2 is like insane, but the difference between 2 and 5 is not that crazy, right?
You know, I was talking to one of these. I interviewed a bunch of different people, and they had a show on TLC or something. It was like 8 kids or something at one time or something like that. And he goes, yeah, you know, like it's the same. Well, after like 2 or 3, it's the same. You could have 1,000. It's just you're doing the same thing to all of them. You know, like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
It was a huge shock for us between 1 and 2, though. Huge shock. Because it's like 1 is like, you have this little buddy, you can bring them around. They're pretty easy. 2 is just like, oh my gosh, it's crazy.
I want to talk, before we wrap this up, I want to talk about Lift Society. I love the place. Personally, I'm looking at you, camera. I love Lift Society. I've leaned out. They don't pressure you into putting more weight. It's not competitive at all. You're competitive with yourself, but it's not competitive at all. I love that are you still keeping it? And it's only been a couple weeks, where you have to go to your website, liftsociety.com, right?
It's lift-society.com.
Lift-society.com. And to be a part of the gym, you got to go through a process. You just don't like give out memberships to this thing for people to apply to it.
There's a process. So basically you go to the website, you submit an application for like a consultation, basically. You come in, we do a sit down meeting with you. We make sure that you know, what we're doing at Lift Society aligns with your goals. We kind of talk through any questions that people have in terms of like, what's going to happen? What kind of gym is this? You know, all the questions that people have when they're considering a gym membership. And then if they want to move forward, we do 1 private training session. It's included in the first month, and then a month of unlimited classes. Just let people try it out.
Okay. All right. So lift-society.com. Dylan, thank you so much for stopping by. Did you get any questions, or is these questions good? Did you get, because I know you put out some questions. Oh my gosh. Is there one question that stood out?
People just like to mess with me on these questions.
Okay, all right. You're like, hey. One question I got that was weird about the gaunt thing. Like if you work out which I've seen that happen to people too. So this is the last question we're going to end on. If people work out like too much,
Yep.
maybe they want to stay, but then their face
Yep.
starts to look like a skeleton.
Right.
Like they get very gaunt
Right.
in the face. Is that true, or how can you prevent that? Or
Well, yeah. So anytime I think the question was if I over exercise.
if I over exercise,
Of course, there's gonna be so many things that go on when you over exercise.
Yeah.
Like, yes. So that's a matter of like how your body loses fat, right? So if you're one of those people that loses fat in their face and their upper body, like you're gonna be more prone to losing weight in those areas. So you just need to make sure that your calories are high enough that you're not getting gaunt in the face.
there is no, and please tell me, like I gain weight in my face first usually. There's no face exercise I can do to lose weight in my face. Is
You
that
cannot target fat. So
actually no? I wish there was I'd just be like doing this all day. It's like I'll gain weight in my face first, and then it'll hit my body.
And then
I
everything
hate
else.
It's an Asian thing. It's an
Oh,
Asian.
yeah?
It's a total. We
Oh.
gain weight in our cheeks and underneath our chins.
Oh, okay.
Like we'll be like, ugh, and I'm like, dude, go like to my butt or something, you know?
You gotta go to the good place.
I know, right? Come on now. I know, but you can't target fat. You were saying, right?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say the best analogy I can think of is like when you unroll a roll of toilet paper, the roll gets smaller like this, right? It's not like you tear one piece off and a chunk goes missing. So it's like that with fat loss. It's like your whole body just overall gets smaller. So it's like you're gonna notice it in different places. Then obviously everyone loses and gains weight differently. Some people are more apple shaped or pear shaped or athletic. So it depends on your body type. But yeah, you're gonna lose fat overall.
All right, Dylan, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Michael.